say whatever we want to say and do whatever we want to do, because that would make the enemy suck. It would.
The artist would have a hard time.
I will ask Kyle. Howdy, howdy. You're here for the last one.
I love what he's having.
He's having. Okay. I'm going to ask Kyle at this point blank. How many times? How many times, Kyle, have you stepped into a booth and they said, "Oh, by the way, you're playing a drunken professor, go." Or, "Oh, by the way, you're a idiot delivery guy, go."
Yeah.
A lot of times, we have no idea, unless you're doing like a principal role where you've auditioned for it. Very often we audition and we don't even know what we've gotten until we get to the studio to record. You have to be able to snap into a character like that. Easiest way to do that, there's an acting game I do when I'm directing called 20 Questions. We don't have time for 20 questions. But what we're going to do, and I'm going to explain this, is these guys, see, I think you and I have done this before. I call this tag team expert. Normally in club improv, you have what's called an expert spot or a solo spot, where I'm an expert on
Anime.
Penguins.
Oh my God, yes.
First thing ever. And I will get up and field any number of questions from the audience. It's usually like a 7 or 8 minute spot with one person on stage fielding questions about penguins in this case, or anime in that case. And hopefully it's amusing, hopefully it's
Penguin anime.
a penguin anime, even better. Basically,
I just lost the game.
the trick is to keep a very strong, very distinct character. We don't want to see you. We want to see a character. So, what we're going to do with Tag Team Expert was a game that my company came up with. My last company, which was called IC. My last improv company was called IC.
Nice.
ICC. Stood for Impulsive Comedy Cabaret.
Nice.
Well, we thought somebody had already taken the word gag, which is a generic acting group. But, which I really wanted to have a group called gag. I just thought it'd be fun. Sorry, a little bit of past history. So what we're going to do is we are going to get a subject. For instance, and I will explain how this goes, just give me a penguins. And one of us will step forward as an expert on penguins. We will field 3 questions from the audience on that subject. Any one of us. So say I'm the one talking about penguins. On the 3rd question, what would a question that you have about penguins? So I would answer a first question, I would answer a second question. What would a 3rd question that you would have about penguins be? Just so I can explain how.
Why do they have eyebrows?
Why do they have eyebrows? Well, and I would find a way to take that question and twist it into an intro for another expert. You know, eyebrows obviously being hair follicles, and I really am not an expert on hair. But we do have an expert on hair here. Maybe he could field questions on hair and eyebrows. And then another... who would assume a whole new character. And the goal of the game is to go pretty fast, is to get your 3 questions out, get a strong answer, have a solid character, but keep switching out. So, we're going to start. I am not going to start, however. Again, 3 questions that trades on. No, we don't know who's going to start. We got to hear what the question is going to be. Then someone will step forward and start. The other 3 just step to the side. So, what is something that someone could be an expert on? Please remember that we are not all anime encyclopedias. Atlantis. Ooh,
Nice.
very nice. Which of you would care to go?
Hi, my name is Christopher Scott I'm an Atlantis expert, and I'll be here fielding your questions for the day. Hi, yes.
Why did it sink?
Well, the thing is, Atlantis didn't sink. Atlantis had hydraulics under the city. You see, they were kind of, they had a couple tires there, and someone flipped the switch a little too much, and the bottom dropped out when they were crossing the ocean. It was a very, very sordid story. But that's why, when rims, you know, they got the 20-inch rims. That's why they don't have the 100-meter rims anymore. That's 2 questions, and I need to okay, sit down. Yes, you in the back. Huh? Where is Atlantis? Well, let's see. Recently, there's been a lot of road construction. So, you know this? You know the 80 out there? You know the 80 out there? Okay, you got to take the 80 all the way towards Chicago. Then, when you get to Chicago, you need to say Alakazam. And then, after you hit a pole for saying Alakazam, you kind of float upwards, and then there's like a little warp pipe, and it goes to Atlantis. It's a little complicated, and honestly, if you don't have a really good auto insurance policy, I wouldn't recommend it, okay? But thank you for asking. Yes! Well, you see, there's all sorts of rumors. Some people say they use gliders, some people say they use, you know, beanies. Some people say that they just, you know, ate a lot of beans, and you can use your imagination. But I'm not familiar with that kind of plumage, but we do have a plumage expert right over here, and he is going to answer all of your questions.
Hi, I'm Dr. Plumage. I know lots of stuff about flying. I am here to field your questions. Yes, of course. Anybody? Anybody? Yes. My favorite type of plumage, I believe the peacock has wonderful plumage. I do think it's beautiful, and I'm glad that NBC chose to use it in their ad campaigns. Yes.
What is the flight of an unladen swallow?
I don't know. Third question, yes?
What's the difference between a phoenix opinion and a phoenix down?
We got to hear the question so that we know where we're heading.
Opinion and a phoenix down.
Thank you.
Well, the difference between those. That's far out of my realm, I'm afraid, but we do have a Phoenix expert here, and we're going to turn the mic over to him.
My name is Professor Weaver, and I'm here to answer all your questions regarding Phoenix. Yes. They are very magical, but they must be stewed properly with a mix of human flesh and the tears of the innocent.
Well, I'm out.
And yes, you.
Why couldn't they have just used a phoenix down on the ice?
Paris.
Why couldn't they have just
Final
used a phoenix down
Well,
on the ice?
you see, now we're going into Phoenix and story element. Phoenixes are very powerful, very magical creatures, but if the story calls for someone to die, a phoenix has no power over them. Reference Harry Potter. Yes.
I know that possible phoenix can be thrown into a, you know, basically, is it possible the phoenix can be reborn so that's like
You know what? That is a fantastic question. Unfortunately, I am not a legal expert. I'm an expert on Phoenix. But we do have our resident lawyer expert. Howdy! He'll answer your questions.
My name is Billy Bob. The largest law firm in the state of Texas. Any question you have about legality?
Bender?
No, not Bender. Bender. They suck. What question do you have about law and legal terms? Yeah, right there.
Can you sue a video game if it sucks?
Technically, you cannot sue a video game. You have purchased that. Now, you could possibly sue the owner of the store you got it from, but you'd have to break your PlayStation first. Another question, come on.
What do you do if you're being sued?
What do you do if you're being sued? Settle. That's what I do. A couple of times.
Is it true that you can shoot somebody from the back of a covered wagon on Main Street in North Dakota?
Well, you know, I'm not an expert. That question has so many levels. You know, I've seen covered wagons, I've seen guns, I have been to North Dakota. I know we've got an expert on one of those three here somewhere. Expert on either guns or